Hey, podcaster. I'm Tim Olberg, your podcast performance coach, with another actionable tip so you can grow your authority and convert with ease. Today's tip is don't believe the hype if you want to have staying power as a podcaster. Podcasting is easy. Just grab a mic and go. Lots of people are making tons of money podcasting. These are lies, or at best, half-truths. In this episode, I get real with you about some of the harmful industry lies being told to podcasters. But don't worry, I don't want to be a total downer because I also want to share ways to make these lies true somehow. Okay, for simplicity, I'm going to call these lies, and let's start with lie number 1. This episode was inspired by an ad I heard, and it bugged me. Okay, more or less enraged me, but I'm getting over it. The ad was for a podcast hosting company. I won't name names, but I also wouldn't recommend them as a host. Anyway, here's the ad copy. If you have ideas to share, you're already a podcaster. I probably should have warned you about how asinine that was. It's the same as saying, if you have ideas to share, you're already a movie director. If you have ideas to share, you're already an author. If you have ideas to share, you're already a professor. It's almost as bad as saying, if you've eaten food, you're already a chef. To be perfectly clear, having ideas to share does not make you a podcaster. That is a lie. Having an idea for a podcast does not mean you should start a podcast. If you do this, then you may have a podcast, but don't count on anyone other than your mom listening to it. There are many more steps between idea and podcaster, especially if you want your podcast to serve as a marketing tool for your business or to build up your authority. You want to have a little bit more intention beyond, I have a podcast. If you want to be a successful podcaster, make sure you have put some serious consideration into who you're talking to, why they would listen, aka what's in it for them, how you're going to stay consistent with publishing and messaging, and why you are even podcasting beyond the ego boost of saying that you're a podcaster. Okay, lie number 2, you just need a mic. This is a partial truth. You definitely need a mic. I won't even dignify the other lie out there that is just use your phone to record a podcast, no biggie. But having a mic does not make you a podcaster. As I've said before, and in just my last podcast, episode 169, you need to be clear about what the heck you're saying into your mic and to whom and why you're saying it. You will also likely need a program to record what you're saying, do some editing, and have a platform to distribute that finished recording. The idea that having a mic is all that is required is laughable. And yet, I'm not laughing because so many people really, truly believe this lie. I hate to be the Grinch that stole podcasting, but there is so much more to podcasting than buying a mic. Lie number 3, podcasters can make big bucks quick. This lie is usually backed up with the Joe Rogan example. Who wouldn't want to strive to make millions and millions of dollars just for turning a mic on for a few hours a week? Sign me up. I hate to be the dream dasher, but I have to pull you down to reality. I'm doing it for your own good here. Striving to be even 10% as successful as Joe Rogan's podcast would require you to have a top 10 podcast with sponsors desperate to access your massive audience. You would also need a team of people to make this happen. And it will likely take you several years of not being paid anything to work up to this point. And let's be real clear about the speed of these riches. It took Joe Rogan decades to get his level of fame. Most of the other top-earning podcasts were started at least 4 years ago when there was a lot less competition, or they're leveraging a huge following or fan base that they already had in place. So if you think 4 years of consistently producing high-quality podcast is a rich, quick scheme, then yeah, go for it. Caveat here, now I have witnessed many, and I mean many entrepreneurs who are using their podcast to grow their authority in combination with other smart marketing, significantly increasing their business's revenue. So in this way, podcasting, yes, can be a quick way to add fuel to a successful business or brand. Now, lie number 4. Your listeners will forgive your crappy audio if your content is good. Ego alert. Ego alert. I can't tell you how many podcasts I've clicked on only to experience an auditory assault. My earballs will never forgive those podcasters. I don't care how fascinating your conversation is or how brilliant your ideas are. If you sound like crap, you are not going in my ears. I'm not alone on this. I once interviewed random podcast listeners to find out what their biggest pet peeve was about podcasts. And can you guess what it was? Yeah, oh yeah, I know you can. It was crappy audio and inane banter. So stop thinking that your big juicy brain and world-class wit are enough. Your show needs to sound good. Full stop. Get this audio sorted out. Lie number 5, Interesting Conversations is a podcast concept. I love talking to podcasters and would-be podcasters. It's why I offer my 15-minute free coaching call. And those calls do bring in a lot of people into my world. One of the most common things I hear from them is that they think their conversations are so interesting that they just can't be left to disappear into the ether of time. These conversations simply must be captured for all of the world to hear and enjoy. Now, I'm not saying your conversations aren't earth-shatteringly riveting. What I am saying is that this in and of itself is not likely to result in a successful podcast. What is in it for your listener? If you're podcasting for your business, how are these conversations adding to your authority as an expert? What problem do you solve, or what transformation can you promise? You need to really ask yourself why your conversations matter to the listener so that they aren't treating them like a fly on the wall, but rather a part of the conversation. And finally, lie number 6, just start. I hear this one all the time, and I'm going to put this lie into the half-truth category. Getting past the nerves and getting behind the mic is a big part of creating a podcast. However, if you just start and then you just keep going, there is a good chance that your podcast is going to quickly become a frustration that you just don't have time for anymore. This whole just start idea is the equivalent of saying, just get in the car and drive. Sure, you are going somewhere, but where the hell are you going? Eventually, you're going to run out of gas, and you may have no clue where the heck you are. At some point, usually after a lot of hours, weekends, money, fights with your co-host, and wondering what you should talk about next, you'll ask yourself, why are we doing this? You need to understand who you're talking to, why they would listen again and again, and what you want them to do after they've listened. In other words, your show needs some direction. So, now that you know the lies to watch out for, you just need to have an idea. You just need a mic. You can make tons of moolah. Don't worry about audio quality. Having conversations is a strategy, and just start talking. Let me leave you with one truth. It's all fun and games unless you take it seriously. There are 3 kinds of podcasters: hobby podcasters, marketers, and professional podcasters. I want to be clear about one thing. If you're in it for the fun of it, have a blast. If you're in it to make some money, either through your business or by creating a business out of your podcast, you need to not buy into the lies and half-truths and make sure that your podcast is serving your listener. You're eventually going to need a plan. And I hope that's just the tip you need. Do you have an idea for a show? Well, that makes you a podcaster. No, it doesn't. Weren't you listening? If you need some help hashing this out, your why, your who, the what, let's talk. You'd be surprised how much clarity you can have in 15 minutes. I can help you find your path to your podcasting purpose. Book your free 15-minute coaching call by using the link in the show notes or by going to podcastperformancecoach.com. I'm Tim Wolberg. See ya!